This is how you make dinner a breeze. You get some beef roast from the grocery store or the warehouse store, which is what I have here, two pretty good sized beef chuck roasts here from the warehouse store. And we're gonna turn them into freezer meals. We are not going to put them into the freezer in their package. That would create a huge headache later. Instead, I grabbed two sauces from the pantry. I'm gonna put those in with each of these two beef roasts, and I'm gonna put them into the freezer. When you see a sale on beef chuck roasts or shoulder roasts at your store, you're gonna wanna grab 2, 3, maybe 4, depending on how often you like to cook beef roast at your house, and then add them to the freezer with the different sauces or the ingredients for your favorite pot roast or whatever it may be. So I'm gonna flip the camera down here and we're gonna get started with prepping these two beef roasts for the freezer. Okay, I have these beef roasts and they're going to go into these bag holders. I'm gonna use these just to keep the bags open when I add the sauce in. I love these guys, they're so handy. Even with these giant awkward beef roasts for keeping the mess to a minimum. You can order these from our online shop. That link is of course in the description below. I'm going to take these out one at a time and then wash up really quickly. This is a beef chuck roast. The other great option is the reason I like to use the round roast and the chuck roast, 1, affordable, and 2, packed with maximum flavor. Okay, let me clean this up and I'll be right back. Before you start screaming at me about not browning these, I'm not browning these because they are going to marinate as they thaw in these two sauces, and they are going to slow cook to shredded and soft beef perfection. So you do not need to brown this before putting it into the freezer. I've tried it before. It's not awesome to put hot things into the freezer. It creates more freezer burn. So over the years, this has become my tried and true way to get beef roast into the freezer. This is gonna cook perfectly in the slow cooker. There's also an Instant Pot. You can also cook these from freezer to Instant Pot as well. I have a video about that. I will link it below and here on at the end of this video. So in addition to the beef chuck roast or the round roast, you're gonna need seasonings and sauces. I just went to my pantry and I found this gold barbecue sauce. It's seasonal from Trader Joe's, so it's actually not in season, but I buy extra for moments like this. When I want another beef roast, it's beautiful. It's kind of a mustardy barbecue sauce. It's beautiful with a beef roast. So if you see it, it's summertime and you see it, grab some extra jars or bottles to last through until like right now when it's 26 degrees outside and I want to have this warm, cozy, delicious mustard barbecue beef roast. I also have a salsa verde that just gives a different spin. I will probably do this with either like over tostadas. I could even use the shredded beef to make enchiladas with like a green enchilada sauce and corn tortillas and some Monterey Jack or pepper jack cheese. That would be a really good way to use this up. But the idea here is to get sauces, marinades, seasoning in with the beef roast and into the freezer. Again, instead of putting the package into the freezer, we want to avoid that. This is more or less the MyFreezEasy method in like 2 minutes. So we do ingredient prep, which in this case, they're already ready. We could add a little salt and pepper, but I will probably do that at the end of the cooking cycle. And then we do our meal prep, which typically we would do 2 and 2, like 2 meals worth of barbecue, 2 meals worth of salsa verde. That's how MyFreezEasy is structured. But for today, we're gonna do 1 of each because I have these 2 sauces from the pantry that I would like to use up. We're just gonna pour, I would say the majority of this in here. I don't think it needs the whole jar. Also, this is great for dipping. After it's cooked, you can get a little bit more of that mustardy barbecue flavor using the rest of this as a dip, or of course you could use as a dip for whatever else there. So I probably used, I think it's about right here. So that's, I used a lot of the jar. but not all of it. I just love this gold barbecue. I am gonna use this whole jar of salsa verde because it's fairly small, and then we'll have this great sauce left over after it has been cooked. Okay, so easy. Basically 2 ingredient dinners right here. Of course, you're gonna add something else with this. This shredded mustard barbecue beef, I'll probably just do with either air fried baby potatoes or maybe like roasted small gold potatoes with a little butter, sour, and cream. They're kind of like little mini baked potatoes, but they cook faster, and our family really loves those. So, or mashed potatoes as well. Potatoes would be a great side dish for this one. This salsa verde beef roast, probably going to do this, as I suggested, tostadas, a burrito, tacos, street tacos, enchiladas. It'll kind of work any of those ways. All right, so I just lay these flat, lay them down, and try and get as much air out as possible, and then seal off the baggie. We've got these sealed up. I'm gonna put these into my freezer just like this. I've got them as small as I can get them because I'm always looking to save space in there, and also make these really easily accessible. I will probably use a Sharpie to label these. If you are a MyFreezEasy member, you can get the labels for meals like this that have all the cooking directions, date, slot, and all that you can add to them. So from here, we are going to place these in the slow cooker and cook on low for 8 hours if you're cooking them from frozen. If you thaw these out in advance in the fridge, which can take 2 days because these beef roasts are really, really thick, then you can slow cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours or high for 4 to 5 hours. The reason for cooking it longer when they're from frozen is to give it time to completely thaw out and cook all the way through. That's really just a food safety thing. All right, I hope you can see how easy this is. You're never going to put a package of meat in its package from the store into the freezer again. You can do this with pork, you can do this with pork chops, you can do this with chicken. This is your ticket to having the easiest, most delicious dinners ready to go in the freezer that are very simple to thaw and slow cook for your dinner. If you learned something new or found this video helpful, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified when we release future cooking videos and freezer meal tips. All right, it's bye for now, and we'll see you soon.